are set to discuss the 2019 Cannon County High School Line football season with Cannon County's second-year head coach, Matt Daniel. Coach, right out of the gate, I said second year. I talked to some of your players about this. Maybe talk about how different it's been for you going into the second year as it was opposed to going into your first year here.
Well, year two has been a little bit more relaxed because last year, year one, I'm moving up here,
right,
getting settled family-wise, house-wise, new job, that sort of thing. So this year's been more I can concentrate on football. The off season, I've got that time that I didn't have last year. So that's been great. Just having the same offense and the same guys utilizing the same offense when we come out to practice now, it's been just great to see that we haven't lost a step. As a matter of fact, I think we've grown more.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk about that off-season program, and that's something I know with you having that full year, how it's been different this year. And likewise, I want to talk about the players that are coming back and the differences you see in their attitudes, you know, in the summer preparation and going into fall camp as well.
Well, you know, we emphasize the weight room. We just finished up camp, so we lifted weights before we went out, and that's part of what we do. We push that early, so as soon as we get back, you know, 2 or 3 weeks after the season, we're in the weight room with those underclassmen, getting those guys ready for player development. That's the big key here.
Right.
We've got a depth chart, you know, 40 guys on our football team. We've got to get those guys ready. Can't wait too long.
Right.
And we got some guys playing other sports, of course, but those guys that we don't have playing other sports need to come in here in the weight room, and we really emphasize that. One of the other things, not having a lot of depth, so we've emphasized a summer running program to get us in shape. There's things you have to do to be competitive.
Coach, going back to last year, you had 4 wins on the football field, and unfortunately, due to really what was a minor oversight, you have to go back and forfeit those 4 wins. What you don't want to take away from last season is the progress you made in the 4 wins on the field last season. I know you don't like to look back and see that your record is going to go down officially as 0-10, but talk about the accomplishments, the building blocks that you were able to lay last season and winning those 4 games, and I think really getting a great solid mindset to start building this program around.
Well, we approached it like this. Hey, it's a bad thing. People make mistakes, clerical error, but we're going to do the right thing, guys.
Right.
I would rather do the right thing and have to face the music for it versus, hey, let's keep that in our back pocket.
Sure.
Hopefully nobody ever knows about it. So yeah, we owned up to that, talked to our players about it and said, hey guys, this happened. This has no impact on us moving forward.
Right.
And since we need to focus on 2019,
sure,
let's focus on 2019.
Right.
We talked about it one time, and I said, if you need to talk to me one-on-one, come to see me. Nobody's come to see me about it because they understand Coach has got our back.
Right.
We're going to do this right. 2019 is right in front of us. Let's go take care of business now.
The 4 games you did win on the field last year, though, how do you think that helped, again, going back kind of to that foundation, especially these players' mindsets? They had some tough seasons coming into last year. How do you think it really affected them overall?
Well, the thing is, this will go down in history with a little asterisk next to it, right? So the game nights we had themselves, those 4 wins, I mean, you can't replace that.
Right.
Being close against Smith County, being close against Moore County, I mean, we're 35 seconds away from being a playoff contender. We're 2 minutes away from having 6 wins. So just being competitive. And I've really preached that since I got here. Let's be competitive. Whatever we do, we're going to be competitive at that play, that game, that situation. Do your job. You guys will be broadcasting up there. You'll probably hear me say that. Game 10 of the season, do your job.
Right. So. Coach, let's take a look at you on the field this season. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, a lot of offensive production gone. You had Litchford and Bundy, I know, was a big part of your offense. You lost your quarterback from last year as well. Some size on the offensive line. Talk about some players, though, that are going to come back and fill these voids for you on the offensive side this year.
Well, start with somebody who's rock solid on the offensive line, Remington James. I can't say enough about his work ethic. He is a leader. Doesn't have to say much to be a leader. Next, Lucas Clark. He plays both ways. So does Remington James. He's a terror on the defensive line as well. But Lucas Clark, Remington James, those are our guys that we can turn to whenever we have to have a big play. They're going to be fundamental in that.
Yeah.
Jamal Barrett has done an outstanding job at quarterback this summer. Wade Love, We need to get the ball in his hands more. Hard to replace a Court Litchford.
Sure.
Court Litchford is the utility player that we all talked about at the end of the season. Man, we're going to miss Court Litchford because he's on the field all the time.
Right.
All the special teams. How do you replace a Tyler Bundy? Well, you don't, because they don't make many of those guys.
Right.
But you've got Connor Tucker, who's done a phenomenal job coming in to replace him. Brady Cunningham, a hard-nosed football player. He's going to play running back. He's going to play defensive end. We're going to put him at our A back, our B back. He knows how to run it all. He's got a great set of hands. Eddie Robinson's a new addition to our team. Didn't play last year. Going to be a rising junior. Really going to help us on offense at our C-back.
Right.
Brendan Reed, a basketball player, phenomenal athlete. I saw him in the gym, said, hey, we got to get this guy playing football, and he did it. He's done nothing but had a good summer, great spring, very athletic. He also plays linebacker for us. Nick Phillips is right there at quarterback. If we need, if Jamal comes out, he's also a great defensive back. He can play corner, he can play safety. So I know I've left some guys out. Brent Scott, another anchor at offensive line. Some other additions I need to mention: Brady Davenport, rising 11th grader, has fulfilled duties at center. So we put Brent out at tackle.
Right.
So yeah, I know I'm missing some folks, but those guys stood out in my mind right off the bat. So
let's talk about your depth a little bit. And are you going to have a lot of players going both ways this year, or is your depth a little better than you would maybe had last year? This time last year.
If there's a biggest concern for me, that's it. 40 players. Right now we're 39 going through camp. 11 of those are freshmen. So we have 29 players that are non-varsity players. They've never had any experience whatsoever, and some of those are new players that haven't played football before.
Yeah.
So depth is an issue. We go over to Shelbyville and our offense comes off the field. Well, 3 players come off.
Oh, wow.
And then we go back on the field against those teams who are wholesale changes, 2 platoon. That's tough, but one of the things that we knew going in was depth was an issue. So we made running emphasis for us this summer. So,
Coach, looking at the district, and again, you're within just a handful of seconds last year being able to secure a playoff berth, and you look around the district, a little bit of change in Smith County, new coach there. Upperman is expected to be Upperman. Sequatchie about the same, I guess. York Institute, we never hear anything about them until the season starts, it seems like. But to me, just kind of looking at it on paper, top to bottom, it looks like it's going to be a competitive district, and I don't know that you can point out 4 teams that you would call a favorite. I can't myself. How do you view the district, and where do you see Cannon factoring in there?
I think we have a very competitive region. I think that Upperman, like you said, is going to be a great football team. I mean, when you hang in there with Alcoa that long,
oh yeah.
I mean, semifinal game, you got to take your hats off to Upperman.
Yeah.
I mean, they stomped Red Bank in the game before that. I went and went to see that game. And so I don't know about York. They had a lot of seniors graduate, but Coach Wright does a great job up there.
Oh, yeah.
Sequatchie County also graduated a bunch of seniors. Coach Wattenberg does a great job down there.
Yeah.
I mean, just the competition level. Grundy County, they're going to be better.
Yeah.
So I can't say who's going to be what at this point. They're all competitive, which is what you want.
Sure.
I mean, that's what I tell our guys. We don't overlook anybody.
Yeah.
Right now, our targets are set on White County, August 23rd.
Right.
And we're going to focus on that and see what happens.
I was going to mention, you brought up White County, your non-region schedules. You do get White County and Warren County, 2 much bigger schools, getting them on the schedule, but two schools that are within the area. Talk about that and how playing those schools are really going to benefit your squad this year.
Well, maybe I took a lesson from DeKalb. DeKalb's been playing Warren for a long time.
Yeah.
They're right down the road from each other, and so are we.
Sure.
And it's just our fans, an opportunity to go 30 minutes down the road and you're at your football game instead of driving an hour and a half. Some of our region games 2 hours away at York. So, yeah, bringing in good competition because both those teams have new head coaches. Coach Durner, from what I hear, is doing a great job at Warren County. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be right here in Woodbury.
Right.
I can't wait for that atmosphere. That's going to be awesome, man.
It will be. Yeah.
And the thing is, our guys need to see that kind of competition. Obviously, we don't want to play top 1 programs in 6A.
Sure.
Warren County and DeKalb County have had a great rivalry. I want the same thing for us.
Sure. Coach, you mentioned community support, and I know I asked you about this last year, and you've had a full year to see it as a head coach. I know you've seen it as a player, and I just always brag on Woodbury and Cannon County coming out on Friday nights with all the festivities, pregame, during the game, everything. Talk maybe a little bit about, too, have you seen a little bit of growth and a little bit of difference in that then from this time last year due to, the success that you were able to accomplish on the field last year?
Yeah, so people I see in the community, hey, Coach, how we looking this year? Can't wait to get back down there. We had so much fun at the games. It's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
I wanted this thing to be the thing to do on Friday nights.
Right.
In a small town, you've got the drive-in, you've got a few restaurants, but come see the football game on Friday nights, then go to the restaurants, and then go to the drive-in.
Absolutely.
So, yes, a lot of support there. We have an excellent touchdown club. Those people, our president, Jesse Cunningham, Courtney Nemeth, Danielle James, and Ed Phillips do a wonderful job for us. I'm going to mention their name for a purpose because they take a lot of time that they don't have to help us out. So
I do want to mention also you got a new website up, and it's a great site, lions-football.com. If you follow in Cannon County, you can follow online a great new website that you guys have developed over the course of the offseason. When you look at this team as a whole, you look at the district, look at the region, you look at everything as a whole, Coach, what can this team accomplish this year?
I tell people I want to compete. If we're competing, we'll be in the game, probably.
Right.
If we're not competing, we're probably not going to be in that game anyway. So if you're worried about you and not worried about the team, we're not competing at the highest level. And no matter how good the team is in front of us, if we compete at our highest level and they're not, we got a chance.
All right. Well, Coach, we had a blast covering Cannon County last year. Looking forward to seeing you guys on TV again this year. But as we always tell folks, come out and go to the games on Friday nights and then go back and watch it the week after because we do replay it. So we like for people to come out and fill up the stands. And, Coach, best of luck to you and your entire crew this year.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Coach Matt Daniel joining us as we preview Cannon County football here on DTC Sports.